Hey guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with a video of underrated romances on Kindle Unlimited you have to check out. And so underrated, I have my own definition of it. I did not place like a number of ratings on it. I feel like these are authors that I love, that I don't see a lot of people talking about, or that I don't see a lot of people reading. Only one of these has a good amount of reviews, and another one is not out yet. So I'm counting it as underrated, but I am so excited for this video because another one of my favorite authors recently joined Kindle Unlimited, and that's why I'm doing this video. So I will go ahead and get to the romances. So if you don't think these are underrated, totally fine, but don't yell at me. So the first one is going to be Moments in Time by K.K. Allen. I love this book. So I took a while to get to it because I did not love book one in the series. This is a small town romance. I have been reading K.K. Allen for a long time. I met her at a signing in like 2018 or 2019, and I read a couple of her books and I really enjoyed them, but I just didn't have the time to keep up with her new releases. And she was releasing this series. I read book one, gave it 3 stars, but book 2 came out on audio, was at my library, and I was like, let's give it a try. It is my candy. It was second chance and also friends to lovers. So it's one of those books where they were on the brink of becoming something more in the past, and something happened where it didn't. And now it's in the future where they have a chance together again. And she ended up marrying his best friend. And so something traumatic had happened and he really pushed her away. And so she just continued on with her life, married his best friend who was there, and now she's divorced, single mom, back in town, and she's really struggling because her ex is not really that helpful at all. So she is a dancer and she really loves having her own dance studio, but she can't afford to keep it open and provide for herself. So she becomes a dancer for parties, and at this club she is a dancer. And so she runs into the hero because she is performing at a party he is at with a client, I believe. There's some reason he's at this party. She wears a mask, but he is like, this girl seems so familiar. And then she starts performing for him and he's like, I know who this is, and freaks out. So definitely very sexy in the beginning, and I really liked that. And then of course it turns into more of a small town romance where he's wanting to help her. He's working for his family's Camp Bexley that the hero in book 1 worked at, and kind of reconnecting with her and trying to unravel why she broke his heart by marrying his best friend. And I loved it, and I loved her son, and it was just a really great romance, and I'm so excited to continue on. I got book 4 recently in the mail because I ordered it for the Chicago signing I'm going to, and I tagged the author in it and she said the book 4 was her favorite. So very excited to read that and continue on, but definitely check out this series if you haven't yet. Like I said, I didn't love book 1, but book 2, 5 stars. The one that it hasn't come out yet that I'm so excited for is Charlie, Love, and Cliches. So this one is Ella Mays' new book that came out this week, and I am pretty sure it's on Kindle Unlimited. I have not like seen it yet because it hasn't come out yet the day I'm filming this, but all the rest of her books are on Kindle Unlimited. If it is not, I apologize, but I am 50% in this book and I'm obsessed with it, so I wanted to include it in this video just in case it was. So this one is an office romance where Charlie works for a PR like crisis place. Like they help clients who are having a PR crisis, and so she works for her dad and her sister both work there, and they're really awful, and they pull her in a million different directions and really overwork her, but then like make her feel like she's not good enough. So the hero is this guy that Charlie actually met a few years ago, and they had like a week where they saw each other every day, talked all the time, and they were crushing on each other. But then something happened and they went their separate ways. He's now divorced. She's out of like a 5-year long distance relationship. He is now like one of the lead like managers at their firm, and she's put on his team, but then her dad still has her doing stuff for him, and she is just working nonstop. And he is slowly just like understanding how she is treated, and they're becoming friends and they're neighbors, and it's just super cute and adorable, and I am loving it so far. So definitely check it out if you have the chance. If it's on KU, grab it. If not, still grab it because I love this one. Then we have Need You Now by Ava Hunter. I recently recommended, I think, book 4 in this series, which is my favorite, but this one I really loved as well, and it is a best friend sister romance where the hero is actually the brother-in-law of the heroine's sister. So I don't even know like if there's a word for that. So his brother married her sister, and he's really close with her sister though because he had a substance abuse problem and something really scary happened, and the sister really helped him, and he is like grappling with his his addiction still, like not relapsing, and so that is definitely in here, so make sure you know that going in. But the heroine is mugged and attacked in the beginning of the book, and so she is recovering, and she is like a party planner in LA, and she's very successful, but she is not really treated well at her job, and so she doesn't want to not work because she feels like she'll be replaced. So the hero offers to go and take care of her. Little do her sister and his brother know, they actually hooked up when there was like the tragedy that happened in book 1. The heroine got amnesia, went missing. All the stuff happened in book 1. You don't need to read them in order. You can read this one, it explains enough. And so they had hooked up because they were both grieving and wanted comfort in someone, and then didn't really address that, and now she's in LA. He's still in Nashville because he is part of a band. And so he goes to visit her, and he's contemplating leaving the band and just doesn't know what he wants to do with his life, and takes care of her. So it's forced proximity, only one bed, and I really liked it. Of course, they're not living in the same state, so that's gonna come up, but I think the series is great. For books 1 and 2, like book 1 was my least favorite, and I just feel like they progressively got better, and I love book 4, so I'm really excited to see what Ava Harrison writes next. But this one I really enjoyed. Then I have Blame It on the Vodka by Fiona Cole. This series I really loved, but I feel like Fiona Cole's known for her voyeur series, and this one I feel like is the one that least amount of people have read. I absolutely love Blame It on the Tequila. It's my favorite in the series, but this one I feel like not a lot of people talk about. It is a friends to lovers married in Vegas romance. So they have been friends for a long time, and she offered to sleep with him when they first met, and he's like, no thanks. So she's like, oh, he doesn't like me, and he's really been pining for her this whole time. He is definitely the best hero in the series, even though book 2 is my favorite in the series. He is just so sweet and just pining for her, and they end up married in Vegas. So they wake up and they're like, what did we just do? But she has a reputation to uphold because her dad is a politician, so they decide to act like they were always madly in love and got married for real to help her father's reputation and his like running for whatever political position he wants. And the hero really has been into her the whole time, and she's been into him, but she just like faced the facts that like he wasn't into her because he rejected her so long ago, and something had happened in her past where she is determined never to like get married, and she wants to be super independent, so they have to deal with that. The heroine is definitely the more like prickly character and the one who pushes him away, which I know some people find annoying, but I really like this one, so highly recommend checking the series out, and especially book 3. Then I have The Third Baseman by Lulu Moore. I talked about this book a lot when I read it last month, and this one I saw some friends reading on Instagram, but beyond that I haven't seen a lot of people reading it. It's a second chance baseball romance that I really loved. This one is a romance where they fell madly in love in high school, and we do get flashbacks to high school, and I feel like the flashbacks were a little slow in the beginning, so definitely know that going in. But once we get to the crux of like why he broke her heart, because he obliterated her heart in the past, and it's been like 12 years. He's a professional baseball player, and he's decided he wants to win her back. She is newly divorced, and he makes a deal where he gets her a job on his team. She is like an engineer of some sort. She worked for NASA, and now she's working for the baseball team trying to figure out ways to make them more efficient, and he is like very overprotective and like only I can work with her and I will take all her time, and I love it so much. There's a lot of baseball, lots of traveling with the team, and him groveling. So he is rich, he is a professional baseball player, he throws a lot of money her way, and I loved it. It was really good, and I completely understood why he pushed her away, but I just didn't understand why it took so long for him to try to win her back. But overall, such a good second chance romance with baseball that I highly recommend. Okay, another reason why I wanted to do this video is because one of my favorite authors of all time is now on KU, and I was like, I have to do this video to let you guys know that Catherine Cowles has put all of her books on KU, and I know so many of you are going to be so excited because hers were wide before, so you had to pay to read any of her books. Now if you have a KU subscription, you can download any Catherine Cowles book you want, and I'm going to recommend one of her underrated ones. This one only has like 1,500 ratings. It is my favorite of the series. It is book 5 of the series. It is Reckless Refuge, part of the Wrecked series. I was going to recommend book 1, but that has a decent amount of ratings, and it's definitely angsty, but this one is for my romantic suspense fans because this is beyond the, like, I don't know if I want to call it like average romantic suspense. So her recent books have been like just people in town like stalking someone, trying to kill them, but this one is a serial killer romance, and let me tell you, it is so good. So it's a woman on the run. She has been hiding out on this island, working as like the kind of like groundskeeper, housekeeper of this island. The family that lived there decides to sell the island to this artist. He is running away from a past because a serial killer had used his paintings as inspiration for his murders, and so he was caught caught, and now the hero is like horrified that his art led to that. So he's hiding out on this island and she is living there, and they agreed to let her stay there to continue working for the new person who owns the island. So it's forced proximity. They both live on this island now and they start falling for each other. And then a serial killer shows up doing exactly what the other one did. So they're like, he's posing these bodies like his art, and they're like, is this the same serial killer who's supposed to be in jail? Is it a copycat? Who is it? But she is also hiding from a past, from someone scary. So this one was so good. It is one of my favorites in the series. I love it so much. I love a woman on the run / woman in hiding romance. And forced proximity, they live on an island together. He is an artist, like there's a serial killer. So good. I loved it because bodies start popping up and they're like, oh my gosh, is this because of us? So read it if you haven't yet. Like I said, definitely underrated in the series, and binge her entire backlist because I love it. You can skip around if you want to or read all of them. It's up to you, but this one is definitely my favorite in the Rec series. Okay, the last one is one that I was shocked to see how many ratings it had on Goodreads and Amazon because I never see anyone talking about this. I found it because I was looking at the author on Hoopla and was like, I didn't know she had other hockey romances. It is Avery Keelan. Everybody loves Offside, but she has The Enforcer, which is a second chance romance in college with hockey, and I loved it. So if you have not read it, or if you have not heard of it like I hadn't heard of it before, please read it. This one is a second chance romance. Like I said, they were dating freshman year of college, broke up, and now it's senior year, and she is in like sports physical therapy kind of thing, and so she is being assigned to a team, and she applied for her top 3 not wanting to touch men's hockey, and she was forcibly placed on men's hockey because they want their top students working for the hockey team. So she should be flattered that she's one of the top students, but she's like, I don't want to work around my ex. And she gets assigned to working with players, and of course her ex is around, so it's forced proximity. Another player starts hitting on her and liking her, and she's like, this is gonna get awkward. And the hero's like, do not date her, do not touch her. They have to travel a lot together because she works for the team now, so it's forced proximity, and they have to uncover like what happened to them in the past. And I really loved it. So this one is such a good romance. It was a really good audiobook too if you have Hoopla, but it is on KU, and if you want to read some of Avery Keelan's backlist, read this one. And those are the recommendations I have for underrated romances on Kindle Unlimited. Let me know if you've read anything really good lately. I would love to hear, and that's all I have. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye.